Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns faced each other in 3 WWE matches in 2024, but they have never worked on the same team. In an exclusive video, reporter Bill Apter questioned whether the two men should form an alliance. On April 19th, Fatu won the United States Championship from LA Knight at WrestleMania 41. The Samoan werewolf has turned babyface since the event and began feuding with former Bloodline stablemate Solo Sikoa. Reigns, meanwhile, has not wrestled since Seth Rollins defeated him and CM Punk at WrestleMania 41. Apter appeared on the Wrestling Time Machine with legendary booker Dutch Mantell, host Mac Davis, and WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. He speculated that Reigns could link up with Fatu when he returns to television. Long agreed with Apter and suggested that the storyline could result in the real-life relatives feuding. Watch the video above to hear more from the panel on whether Jacob Fatu needs a manager in WWE. The June 20th episode of SmackDown saw Jimmy Uso help Jacob Fatu stave off an attack at the hands of JC Mateo and Solo Sikoa. Dutch Mantell, formerly known as Zeb Coulter in WWE, believes Roman Reigns would be a good addition to the storyline. However, he thinks it is too soon for Fatu to turn heel again. On June 28th, Fatu will defend the United States Championship against Sikoa at Night of Champions. In Saudi Arabia, the WWE Universe could be on the verge of witnessing a seismic shift in power, strategy, and allegiance, as fresh speculation has ignited over the possible return of Roman Reigns not as a lone warrior, not as the reigning undisputed WWE Universal Champion, but as an unexpected ally to rising force Jacob Fatu. According to multiple veteran legends close to the matter, including those who have worked closely with the Bloodline story and the Samoan dynasty at large, whispers of a new alliance are growing louder backstage, signaling that Reigns may be about to evolve his legacy once more. WWE insiders, former champions and Hall of Famers, are already discussing what this could mean for the future of the company. If true, the potential pairing of Reigns and Fatu could change everything about the SmackDown landscape and the tribal power dynamic that has shaped WWE's main event scene for years. The notion of Roman Reigns returning to align himself with Jacob Fatu isn't just a rumor plucked from thin air. It's one that has been subtly hinted at through social media teases, carefully chosen WWE.com headlines, and the cryptic absence of Roman Reigns since WrestleMania 41. Many fans assumed Reigns would return gunning for revenge, reclaiming dominance, and perhaps targeting Solo Sikoa for assuming control of the Bloodline during his absence. However, the latest buzz suggests that Reigns may be planning a far more nuanced approach, returning not to feud with Solo directly, but to strategically insert himself alongside Jacob Fatu, potentially forming a new inner circle that pushes the Bloodline into a darker, more ruthless era. Jacob Fatu has already made an immediate impact in WWE since his debut on SmackDown. He's destroyed top-tier superstars, interrupted championship matches, and sent an unmistakable message to anyone questioning his legitimacy. His raw intensity, intimidating aura, and destructive offense have drawn comparisons to a young Roman Reigns himself, but with an added level of street aggression reminiscent of Umaga or Prime Taz. But what has many legends buzzing isn't just his in-ring dominance hits his uncanny ability to command silence with a glare and chaos with a mere gesture. That quiet charisma, combined with his lineage as a member of the extended Unoue family, positions him as the perfect modern war machine for Roman Reigns to direct. While the WWE landscape has continued to evolve post-WrestleMania, with Solo Sikoa appointing himself the new tribal chief and surrounding himself with Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, things have not felt quite right to longtime observers. The group has the look of dominance, but the leadership lacks the gravitas Reigns brought to the table. Jacob Fatu, however, doesn't seem particularly loyal to Solo or anyone for that matter. In fact, there have been subtle signs that Jacob Fatu is operating under his own agenda, one that may just be synchronized with the returning Roman Reigns. According to one Hall of Famer who requested anonymity, Jacob Fatu doesn't strike me as someone who's following orders. He's the kind of guy who listens to one man only, and if that man is Roman, then we're all in for a serious storm. This sentiment has been echoed by other legends, including Booker T and Bully Ray, who both noted on separate podcasts that they wouldn't be surprised if Fatu is revealed as the insurance policy Reigns lined up long before stepping away from the spotlight. Even Paul Heyman has been unusually reserved in recent interviews. When asked about Roman's future, his silence, many believe, speaks volumes. What makes this scenario even more fascinating is the political chessboard WWE appears to be setting up. Solo Sikoa, once viewed as the obedient enforcer of Reigns' vision, has now declared himself the tribal chief. With Heyman's loyalty clearly tested and Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa showing more allegiance to Solo than to the larger Unholy Code, it seems the stage is set for a power struggle. If Roman Reigns returns, flanked by Jacob Fatu, this could trigger an internal war unlike anything seen in WWE in the past decade. One that isn't about titles, but about honor, blood, and rightful leadership. Roman is a storyteller, another veteran said. If he comes back, it won't be just to reclaim Goldatel, be to restore the dynasty in his image. Fatu would be his sword. He doesn't need the bloodline anymore. He just needs a believer, someone violent, loyal, and unpredictable. That's Fatu. Recent backstage reports also note that Roman Reigns has been spotted at WWE headquarters holding private meetings with top creative officials, including Paul Levesque, Triple H, and Bruce Pritchard, though no official return date has been announced. There are rumblings that SummerSlam 2025 might be the target either for a surprise return, or to lay the foundation for a monumental showdown at Survivor Series or even WrestleMania 42. Close to WWE creative claimed that a massive long-term narrative arc has already been penciled in for Roman Reigns, and that Jacob Fatu will be critical to it. Meanwhile, Fatu has been running through opponents like a beast unleashed, and his refusal to acknowledge Solo Sikoa publicly has not gone unnoticed. In a backstage interview segment that aired briefly before being curiously pulled from social media, Fatu reportedly said, "I don't follow nobody. The ones I follow ain't here yet." That cryptic line has sparked wild theories, but many now believe it was a direct reference to Roman Reigns, who has remained off WWE programming since his crushing loss at WrestleMania. The possibilities are endless. Imagine a SmackDown where Roman Reigns returns, not to beg for leadership back or to scold the bloodline, but to laugh, to reveal that everything has been playing out just as he anticipated, that the chaos Solo has sown was merely a distraction, a path to weaken the structure so Reigns and Fatu could return and rebuild a more dangerous order. One lead not by ceremony, but by conquest, a group where Jacob Fatu serves as the hand of wrath, while Reigns manipulates from behind the throne. And what would happen to the rest of the bloodline? Would Jimmy Uso defect once again, especially with his recent flirtations with Redemption and Brotherhood? Could Jey Uso be lured back, seduced by a version of the bloodline that finally prioritizes family over manipulation? And how would Solo react if Roman and Fatu were to walk into his house uninvited and declare war? Legends like The Rock and Rikishi have yet to weigh in publicly, but many fans believe the tribal elder's silence is deliberate. WWE has carefully maintained a veil of secrecy around Roman Reigns' return plans, but they haven't denied the rumors. In fact, on a recent episode of The Bump, a fleeting graphic teased a legacy reborn in reference to SummerSlam, and the visual featured Roman's logo subtly blended with Jacob Fatu's snarling face. In many ways, Jacob Fatu is the perfect evolution of the original Roman Reigns character. Where Reigns started as the silent powerhouse of the Shield, eventually becoming the calculated tribal chief, Fatu is a force of chaos, whose presence alone makes titles feel irrelevant. Aligning with Reigns would give him structure and a shared mission. It would also allow Reigns to return not as a broken king, but as an emperor reborn, miser, meaner, and more dangerous than ever. The idea is compelling. A bloodline civil war led by Solo Sikoa, opposed by Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. With the rest of the Samoan wrestling dynasty caught in the middle, WrestleMania 42 could be headlined not by a title match, but by a tribal war for legacy and soul. The stakes: everything Roman Reigns spent 4 years building, and everything Jacob Fatu is now trying to define. And if WWE has the courage to go Ellen, they could craft the most compelling narrative in modern wrestling history. As for the WWE locker room, there's a noticeable air of tension. Some superstars reportedly feel that the return of Roman Reigns would suck the oxygen out of current storylines, while others welcome the opportunity to work with the top draw in the company once again. Fatu, meanwhile, remains unbothered. He doesn't speak often, but when he does, he speaks with his fists. It's that ruthless confidence that makes the prospect of a Roman Reigns-Jacob Fatu alliance so intoxicating. Together, they wouldn't just dominate, they'd obliterate. In the end, the only certainty is that something major is brewing. The tribal war is far from over. It's only evolving. And with the potential return of Roman Reigns, backed by the fury of Jacob Fatu, the WWE universe may soon witness a new bloodline emerge, not forged in gold, but in fire and vengeance. Legends are watching. The roster is waiting. The world is speculating. And Roman Reigns, ever the tactician, may be preparing to remind everyone exactly why he's still the head of the table, even if he now sits beside a different kind of warrior. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.